everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tutorial. It is of this look that I'm wearing right here. I'm not really sure what you would call it. I just wanted to do something kind of golden and glowy and plummy. Those are kind of like my favorite colors to wear, are your plums and your golds and your bronzes and coppers. I think that's mostly because they really bring out my eye color, but they also bring out a variety of eye colors. So even if you don't have blue or green or bluish greenish eyes, this would definitely work for you. As I was doing it, I was kind of thinking this is a little reminiscent of my Sunset Eyes tutorial I did, I think back in the fall with the Vice palette, but I had already gotten started and I was just rolling with it. So I hope you still enjoy this video. I haven't looked back at the other one to see how similar they actually are, but que sera, sera. I mean, I'm still gonna put this tutorial out for you because I've pitched a bunch of them recently, so I feel like I owe you guys a tutorial. Even though they aren't my most popular videos, some of you do tell me that you enjoy them, so I'm doing it for those of you that do. For my eyes, I did use the Carli Bybel palette from BH Cosmetics, which is only like, it's under $20. I didn't use a lot of highlighter. I used a product that is a blush and a highlighter in one. I did kind of a rose bronzy pink lip with a gloss. You can use a gloss, you don't have to use a gloss. So anyway, if you like this look and you want to see how I did it, then please keep on watching. To start off with, I used my Holy Grail primers for eyes and face, the Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day Eye Primer and the Hourglass Veil Primer. Because I was running low and this stuff is expensive, I just took out the pump and used what I could, trying to get the remaining out from the bottom of the container. And then just rubbing that in, and then also rubbing it in, rubbing the Take on the Day on my eyelids. Using a damp beauty blender, I'm also using my Holy Grail Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Many of you know I have super oily skin, so this is my go-to. It's been for years. I try so many others, but I always go back to this. And the shade I am wearing is Tawny. Then I am taking my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in Light, and I'm doing what basically every YouTuber in the world does, and highlighting, making a nice inverted triangle underneath my eyes, and then highlighting the other high points of my face. Taking a beauty blender and of course blending everything in, making sure it blends seamlessly into the foundation. I'm also taking this concealer and putting it over my eyelids to take out any discoloration on the lids. Sometimes I use soft ochre paint pot, but I find this eliminates that step. So I'm just doing that instead, and then blending, and blending some more. Now with the Bdellium Tools brush and some CoverGirl translucent loose powder, I am just emphasizing some other points in my face, setting some areas that get oily. I am not powdering my under eye area just yet because there is more to come for that area. Right now I'm taking a spoolie and just brushing my eyebrows up. And then I'm going to take a MAC pencil. This one is Brunette. And I'm just going to carve out the shape that I want my brow. As you can see, I have very light, very sparse brows. So this is going to be used as my guide. Also, just so you know, this focus is a little out of focus. But just so you know, after this segment, after the brows, the focus gets a lot better. Now I am taking my, as you can see, yeah, now it's a lot better. So I'm taking the dip brow in soft brown, speeding this up a little bit so it doesn't take forever, because it does take me a while to do my brows. So I am just making them a little bit fuller, obviously darker, and giving them some shape. So once this is finished, I'm going to take some concealer. This one's by Eve Pearl. You can take any concealer you want and just go underneath the brow and carve it out even more. I find this step also helps those of us with light brows to find those little baby hairs that we might have missed when tweezing. I do my own brows, so this step, and between this and the lights, it helps me to see what little hairs on the eyebrow I might have missed. So then I'm going to take some Anastasia Beverly Hills Brunette Brow Gel and just brush those hairs up and set them into place. Now using the Carli Bybel palette and the first lightest shade in it, I am just taking a flat shader brush and going over that concealer and making that my base shade. Now I'm using a little pencil I think it's called Amber Moon. I'll write it down below, but it's from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just, as you can see, defining the outer corner. That can be really, really messy because it's going to be blended away. This is just to give the shadow some more depth and some more pigment. And then, as you can see, I ran it under my lower lash line. And now I'm just kind of carving out that inverted V shape and going over it a couple times. Then I'm going to take the mauve shade from the palette. It was the second from the right. And a pencil brush and smudging out the bottom lash line. So it's really going to give it a more intense color than if I had just used the powder alone. Then I am taking a small defined brush and I am blending out that V shape. And this took me a little bit. These aren't as blendable. I never used those pencils this way and they're not as blendable as I was hoping. So it took me a little while to work this, to blend it into the shape I wanted, and then I kind of bring it in a little bit towards the center of my eye, and just so it has a nice blend. Next, I'm using my Scott Barnes crease brush, and then the shade right next to the first one I used, which was, well, the first mauve shade. There's a little bit of a darker mauve shade in there, and I'm using this one to just blend out my crease, make that my transition color. So I just go back and forth until the desired intensity was achieved. Now I'm using a MAC 242 brush and some Fix Plus and one of the lighter golden highlight shades from the palette. I am putting this right on my lid. It becomes very vibrant when used with a Fix Plus. It's very, very pretty, very, very pigmented. So I'm packing this on my entire lid, obviously staying away from the outermost corner, but I'm bringing it up into my crease, and then I also ended up bringing it into my tear duct as well. So I'm just packing that on. Then I am taking a Samey Beauty brush and then the darkest kind of plummy color from the palette and working on that outer V, darkening that, and then in a minute you'll see I kind of blend that up and into the crease as well. This is where you have to work with your own eye shape. I bring it up a little higher because I have hooded lids and I want you to be able to see a little bit of that color with my eyes open, especially once, oh, I had a little smudge there or something. Especially once I put on my lashes, eyeshadow tends to disappear. Now I'm taking a little brush from Stila. I just like this brush because it works well for such a small under eye area. And I'm also taking that dark plummy mauve color and just deepening up the smoky effect underneath the eyes. Now using the LA Girl Fineline liquid eyeliner, I am doing, as you know, my favorite thing to do on camera, which is winged liner. That was sarcasm right there. I hate doing winged liner on camera, but this time it actually came out okay. I didn't have too many struggles here. I'm just cleaning up the under eye area with a makeup wipe. Next up, I am curling my eyelashes with my Laura Mercier eyelash curler, and then I'm using Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. And now I'm looking at how I got little black dots from the mascara all over my lid. It's so frustrating to have hooded lids. Now I'm taking the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and this is when I said earlier that I wasn't powdering under the eye yet because I am using this product to define the wing of my liner and then also add some more highlight under the eye and to the darkest, that little area I'm getting right there, that's the darkest point in my eye. So I am definitely wanting to brighten that up using a damp beauty blender. This is a thick product. You have to really, really blend, and a damp beauty blender I find is the best way to work with this particular product. Now these lashes are from a brand called iFULLlash. They were $1 at the swap meet. And now I have both eyes done with lashes, and we can continue on to the face. I am now setting my under eyes with that Delium Tools brush and the CoverGirl Loose Powder. Next up, I am taking MAC's Give Me Sun Mineralized Bronzer and a big fluffy brush, and I'm just bronzing up pretty much everywhere, as you can see. I'm just kind of going to town on my face with this bronzer. So I like to take it like on my forehead, cheeks, anywhere the sun would naturally hit you. Now, using the Benefit Cheekathon palette, I'm using Hoola bronzer, which has been a staple in my kit for years. I love to contour with this product. I am not one for heavy cream contour. I might do it like on a big night out or something, but especially going into summer where it's in the 100-degree range here in Vegas, I don't really like to use a lot of creams for my oily skin. So powder it is, and now I'm using a little brush to contour my freaking annoying as hell nose. I can't even follow other contour kind of tutorials because nobody's nose is like mine. It is so severely jacked up, wider on one side, flat at the top. Ugh. So now I'm taking Rocketeur, which is what I was mentioning earlier, is a highlighter and blush in one. So I don't really feel the need to use more highlighter. This is just such a really pretty mauve shimmering blush, but then I wanted it to be a little bit darker, so I added a bit of that Dallas shade, which is like a brown. It almost looks like a bronzer also, but it's kind of like a mauvey brown, and I just added that to the apples of my cheeks. Onto my full lips enhancer. I know some of you will yell at me for using this product, but I swear I only use it once in a while, so I don't think it's really harming me in any way. Now I'm using the Yves Saint Laurent lip liner in number 13, which is a great, great nude. I don't know if it's worth the $30 price tag. There are lots of good nude liners out there, but for some reason I just wanted it for a long time and just bit the bullet and finally got it. It is a very nice lip pencil. And then for lip color, I'm using, I just love, love, love this color. And I feel like the formula of these has gotten better. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lips, and this color is Stripped. Absolutely love, love this color. I thought it would be too close to Stila Caramello when I first looked at it. So I wasn't sure if I should get it because I really love Caramello, and who wants to spend another $20 if you already have that exact same color at home? But they are definitely a little different. So now while I'm waiting for this to dry down to the matte finish, I'm taking a little bit of what was left on the brush from when I did my under eyes with that concealer, that Kevyn Aucoin, and just accentuating my lips and cleaning up the edges. And now I'm taking this gorgeous gloss from Dior. It's like a beautiful mauve, shimmery, rosy, golden goodness. I just love it. It's called Mirrored, and again, it's from Dior. So after applying the gloss, the look is completed. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I thank you so very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means the world to me. Also, comment. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, what kind of tutorials you'd like to see in the future, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks again.